right, it's almost midnight. So today is Transparency Thursday, Tuesday, not Thursday, but I wish it was Thursday. So I'm just gonna make this really brief. With all the turmoil and chaos and dysfunction and hate and anger and emotions going on, especially after the words of Agent Orange, to really desensitize an already very sensitive subject, right? So I just want to say, for those people who are trying to wake up, this video blog is not about black or white. It's about unity. Because there are several other races and nationalities that are very disgusted with what they're seeing, with what the president said, with the rage and the prejudiceness and the racism and the blatant disrespect, dehumanizing, desensitizing of what you're seeing. If this has not propelled you to take action about becoming unified for a common cause, because anybody that does not agree with the neo-Nazi, white nationalist, white supremacist rhetoric and what you've seen and what has been displaying, then you better be ready to come together and fight for the same cause. Because see, at the end of the day, that's what unity is. Unity is not about color, although everything in this country has been depicted about color. Hey, Danto, good morning. We want the same thing. As a parent, you want your kids to get the best education, to go to the best school, to have the best, opportunity to be treated fairly, to not be bullied. Hey, Dante, you want them to have the same opportunity. You don't want somebody jumping on your child because they black. You don't want somebody jumping on your child. Maybe they, special needs or maybe they're autistic or, all those things that the president said, and making fun of handicapped people. Don't nobody put you in the... I don't want my video blog going that long tonight, Tay. So I'll do a different one. You're going to have to be good and keep it short and sweet. You promise? And then I'll send you an invite. Otherwise, you're going to have my video blog going too long. So, but at any rate, we want the same thing. We want to raise our kids to become functioning, fully productive members of society without being prejudged, without being harassed, without, being falsely accused, jumped on, beat up, arrested, all those things, right? If you do your part and be good, let me, I invite you in, but you be getting long-winded. This ain't a long video blog tonight because I got some other stuff to do. We'll do it tomorrow night. It's just sad, you know what I'm saying? And I have not been watching anything since Donald Trump got in office because I feel my time and my energy will be so much better spent, reading and actually applying, implementing the change that I want to see, the unity that I want to see in my community. If you follow me, I talk a lot about group economics, talking about building wealth. This is the best time for entrepreneurship for anybody, not just black people, but we say especially for black people because of how much oppression and how much injustice and racism we have endured and continue to endure in this country. So we specialize or we focus on our own first because others don't try to help us. We've seen the type of help or hand-ups that some people have tried to render us, and it's not a help at all. So with that being said, it takes a village, but change starts with you. So it don't matter if you're black, it don't matter if you're white, if you're purple, green, orange, yellow, Hispanic, Latino, Jewish, Caucasian, Italian, Asian, Japanese, Chinese, Korean, Middle Eastern, Indian. Unity is unity. If you want to grow, if you want to make an impact, if you want change to happen, then it's about unifying in your community. And if you live in a diverse community, then that is wonderful. But, too many times everything is segregated by the community that you live in. You know, in St. Louis, it's all about where you went to high school. So your high school determines your prestige and your influence, and you know, you come from a certain elite background, right? And that's one of the things that they'll ask you, well, where did you go to high school? So, you know, but at the end of the day, I cannot watch that man on television under no circumstances. I can keep up with what's going on in the world without watching CNN. I just read Huffington Post, where they, you know, write quality articles. They got the regular Huffington, and then they got the black Huffington, you know, where the black journalists. And of course, I read Essence magazine. But at the end of the day, I'm just saying, unity is everything. You know, love, there's definitely more love needed in this world, because we have so much hate. We have so much negativity. We have so much rage. We just have, you know, like we one step from just going off violent, just off the deep end, you know. Law enforcement is in a bad limelight. Of course, I'm going to touch on that because I'm a law enforcement officer. And I sure as hell don't want nobody, you know, ambushing me or attacking me just because I'm black or just because I put on that blue uniform. Because I'm not a crazy individual. I'm not a person that's out there violating people's rights. I tell people all the time, you have enough criminals out there. You can get great arrests. You can do a great job. Just, you know, be patient. And learn your neighborhood. Learn where you patrol. You ain't got to plant nothing on nobody. You ain't got to do that. Because criminals don't ever think they're going to get caught. That's why they don't never stop committing crimes. That's job security all day long. You know. So, but at any rate, you know, that is, it's unity needed on all sides. It's unity needed between the law enforcement community with the civilians and the citizens in the communities in which that we patrol, that we are supposed to do community policing, that we are supposed to build rapport, build trust, and work together. You know, entrepreneurship allows you to create jobs. When you create jobs, you can curb and reduce violence. You can get, you know, that kind of stuff off the street, out your community. They pushing what they shouldn't push because it's a mentality. It's the only way they think that they can make money. You know, everything about a dope dealer ain't bad, because they actually have a great business mindset and a great business understanding. What you need to switch out of their hand is the product, and put the right product of entrepreneurship for them to make money the right way. And therefore they can, you know, buy up the block in their community. They can make changes in their community. They can hire and get the kids off the street and stop looking up to, you know, the quick, fast hustle, the quick, fast money, which is going to either land you in jail or dead. You know, the war is on all sides of the coin. If you ain't getting gunned down as a black person by the police, then you're getting gunned down by, you know, a gangbanger or just another individual who don't care about life, period. Gangs is in all races. It ain't just blacks, you know. And to say, if you think that only blacks are shooting down blacks, then you're very misguided, because the news always portrays what they want to portray. Violence under any circumstances is bad, you know, and most people don't want to get involved until it hits your doorstep. So one of your kids or one of your best friend's kids who had everything going for them, who was college bound, who was a great athlete, who was an intelligent, high IQ intellect, and their life get cut short over some bullshit. Then you want to get upset. Then you want to look at a solution. Then you want to get involved, and then you want to have a conversation. But until then, you didn't want to have nothing to do with it, because it didn't have nothing to do with you. So, you know, that's what we do. We are on the other side of that every day when we put that vest on and we go to work. We actually can make an impact and a difference. You know, most black officers, there are some who forget what the hell their skin color look like, where they come from. You know, they don't think they black in America because somebody then, you know, twisted them up to thinking they have arrived and have been accepted in this society. But it takes a village, man. You know, we need to turn off the TV. We need to take the iPads and the iPods and the cell phones out of kids' hands and get their ass off Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat, and all these social media accounts. They need to put some books in their hand and get them to learn where the hell they come from, and get them to learn and understand how America was built, why it's built, and how it runs. Economic power, capitalism is what runs this country. Always has, always will. Nothing will ever change that, because that's who controls it. When you have the economic power, that's how you control. You have the control, you have the influence to, you know, and when greed is running this country, case in point, Look at our president. He's very ignorant. He's the only president we've had with no education, that's never served, in the military. Ain't nobody in his family served in the military. He just has no respect for nothing and nobody. If it don't benefit him, he don't give two flying you know what. So coming together to empower our kids and to empower each other as parents, as grandparents, as mentors, we have the answers. We don't need the government to fix shit. We need to fix us. We need to fix our attitude. We need to fix our mindset. We need to fix what we're putting into these kids' heads and what we feeding them. Anything, I'm a very strong, person of faith and believer. I don't Bible thump nobody, and I don't try to force Christianity down nobody's throat. I don't care if you don't believe in a higher power, if you do. But what my point is this. If you believe in something, then your actions should follow that. Your passion should follow that. Your enthusiasm should follow that. If you see the value in somebody, tell them that. Especially if they're young. Pull them to the side. If they'll have a conversation with you, if you have a 5-minute window, then you put some great seeds to give somebody something else to come along and water in that child. Because they are looking for something different. But nobody's willing to take that chance to show them something different. And you will learn that if you just sit and have a conversation with one of them, if they allow you to do that. Because even as much as they hate the police, they don't like us just because of the uniform. It's not nothing personal against me. But if you're going to sit there and you actually let me say hello to you and you're going to speak back, you're going to hold a conversation with me. Because I have that much confidence that I can get you to have a conversation with me. It ain't got nothing to do with, police work. It don't have nothing to do with me asking you for your ID so I can run your information. It won't have anything to do with how many times you've been arrested. Do you got some dope on you? Do you got a pistol on you? It's all in how you approach a person. And even though you might not be successful with everybody, if you reach just one, then you've been successful. That's what the saying is. And if you never even approach somebody, then you really haven't done your job. Because somebody took a chance on us. Somebody intervened with us. Somebody when, in our day, they threatened to tell our mama, which means we're going to get the hell beat out of us if they told our mama what we was doing or what we weren't supposed to be doing, trying to be mischievous, right? So you have to be willing to step in and approach and offer. Because I don't really believe that a lot of kids, it's a small percentage who might conscience be, seared and they don't want to hear it and there's no hope left for them. But as long as God give you breath, you breathing, you wake up to see a new day, then there's hope for you. Each day you wake up, you have another chance to get it right. No matter how much you messed up the day before, no matter how much you messed up the week before, no matter how much you messed up the month before. That's what the road to redemption is all about. It's a very humbling experience. But it makes you have the strongest ministry, the strongest message. Turn your mess into a message. That's why people who did, I know as much as people don't like church and religion and all that, but that's what makes most ministers great ministers, because of what their past was. So they can meet people where they are, they can connect with people, and they can say, hey, I've been where you've been. I know, and I can see exactly what you're going to do, but I can tell you there's another way. They didn't have to be preachers to be able to do that, but that's what makes a phenomenal speaker phenomenal, because it's where they're going, and their past is a byproduct of what made them who they are. So when you're not ashamed of your mistakes, when you're not afraid to share your mistakes, you have the most impactful message and influence only if you use it. Nobody will never know if you never share your story. God can't get the glory. Our youth are dying out here on several levels. And we just sitting back and we watching. Because it ain't happened to your child. So that is my speech for my topic. Because time for change is now. More than ever to be unified. Unity is what makes a community. And the more we understand that, and the more we strive for that, and we do it in love, and we have patience, and we have compassion, and we seek to listen to understand and not pass judgment on people, we can make some great strides in our community and reduce crime. We don't need the police to help reduce crime. Because you see what kind of job they doing. They ain't helping shit at all. Overall, they making it worse. Because of what we're seeing, Charlottesville, and those kind of people being hired in the sheriff's department, or hired and sitting on a judge's seat, or your city councilman, or your state governor, or your alderman, or your chief of police. That's a reality, and that's a fact. And they're going to keep on keeping the good old boy clique in those positions until you get your ass up and start voting and stop saying, why do I need to do that? Why do I need to vote? My vote don't count. Because the very shit that you're seeing right now is why you need to get up and vote. For all those people who sat their asses down and didn't vote after President Obama's 2 terms, this is a byproduct of that. Your won't produce results, local level government officials. That is why you have the trash that you have. That's not resolving anything in your community because you're not voting. If we voted like we spend all our money as fast as we get it on purses, hair weave, eyelashes, shoes, whatever, you'll see a whole lot of change happening. Because you have power, your money, your dollars, your economic power, all of that counts. But the reason you think it don't matter because you're dumb. Because what you're putting in here is dumbing you down to nothing. And you're starting to believe that you're not nobody. And that your life don't have value and it don't have meaning. That's why you say it don't matter if I don't vote. But if you came face to face with one of them white nationalists down there, I think you would beg to differ that your vote does matter. If you saw one of your friends get strung up on a tree with a noose hanging around their neck, I think you would think differently that your vote does matter. I think that if you saw a situation where your parent couldn't protect you or you couldn't protect your parent, I think you would take your education a whole lot better and more seriously instead of goofing off when you're in school. But that's why you do. Stupid is as stupid does because you're not putting nothing in here. It's empty. And everything you try to do, you try to numb it down. That's why you smoke dope. That's why you drink. That's why you do all that stuff because you want to numb this instead of actually taking action and being proactive fearlessly that you have the power to make a difference in your community. It don't matter your age. It don't matter your skin color. It don't matter your race. And for those that are white privileged, that are comfortable in that privilege, that don't want to speak up and speak out, and you know it's wrong, well, we'll just leave that right there. Because regardless whether you agree with it or not, you still are benefiting from that privilege just because you are a Caucasian born, especially if you're a male, in this country. And that's a fact. So, rise up, queens and kings, and take your throne. Take your place. And teach other people that they belong. You own the damn room when you walk in there because you belong to be there. And don't let nobody tell you nothing different. You don't need their validation. You don't need their approval. All you need is this. This is the best weapon that you got. If you want to equate it to a AK-47, a semi-automatic weapon, this right here, can't nobody take what they didn't give you. Unless you let them. So that's all I got to say. I ain't going to address none of the other stuff on a personal level. I'm not going to watch this stuff because I don't need to see it. I deal with that shit on my job. And I have to maintain civility and professionalism when I deal with them bastards on my job. Because a lot of them veterans come from that era in Vietnam, still got a problem with this. They'll tell you in a minute, I don't want that nurse to help me. I need another nurse. So it's there. It's all in how you react to it, and what's your game plan and how you're going to respond to it. So, love, peace, and soul, everybody. Y'all have a fantastic Tuesday and a great hump day and a good remainder of the week. But it's time to elevate. It's time to level up, and it's time to elevate, and it's time to unify. So, what are you going to do to commit to the cause? What are you willing to sacrifice to make a difference, to bring unity in the community? Are you willing to stand in the gap and take some of the criticism that black people take every day for simply being black in America? How uncomfortable are you willing to get? Because the opportunity is right there for you to make a difference.